Hey everyone, we're here to do just an overview today. Not a review. State this again, not a review, just an overview of all.
Mechanically based recoil systems. So these are all no electricity required.
Yep, I had to go to him on that. I couldn't remember. Anyways, we're gonna start with the Tippmann.
We got some points written down here,
Yeah.
so if we're not looking at you 100%,
Sorry.
there's a lot to cover on each gun, so I want to make sure we try to catch as much as we could, so don't hate us for missing a key point or whatever the case may be. Price tag, it's probably going to come in the lowest of all three of them, like $450 for the gun as itself. I mean, for $450, you get the entire gun, so you walk out of the door, you're set up. It comes with a mag that runs off CO2 cartridges, or if you want to, you can change it and run off an air tank with an airline.
Which is how I'm set mine up as.
I think everybody sets the gun up that way. Nothing against the CO2 cartridges, but we'll get to that in a con. Runs AEG mags and barrels. That's a plus.
So if you already run an M4, you don't got to go buy any like proprietary mags or anything. You just use your normal mags.
Yep.
It's kind of handy.
If you got a certain barrel type you like in AEGs or Polar Stars, whatever you've been running, you transfer it over here and see how you like it. I mean, you got a gambit of...
It gives you a variety to choose from, too.
Yeah, super big variety. The CO2 mags, we also agree that it's kind of a pro. There's no line required, so that is a plus to some people that don't like lines.
But it can also be a con.
Yeah, it's also a con. We'll get to that, I guess. With the tank that you buy, you can run a regular CO2 tank, which is super cheap. So anybody that already played paintball, easy to get into it. There's no regulator. There's no regulator needed. So as opposed to like your S&Ps or Polar Stars or anything else like that, you need a regulator. This is no regulator. It's a regular old.
It's regulated. It's just all regulated inside the gun.
Sure.
So you don't have to have a separate unit that you have to buy and spend more money on.
Sure. So no
It's already
ARX and
built
no
in.
You need the
Yeah.
tank and the line.
and the line.
Yep.
The felt recoil. So if you're obviously trying to get, that's probably the idea why you're buying this.
Yeah.
Is for recoil. Well,
That's what it started as.
there it is. It recoils. That is what it is. It's all mechanical. As Christian said, there's no batteries. It's very easy to disassemble. That's a huge plus. Out of the three we're going to review, it's probably the easiest to assemble. I mean, it literally you split it. The selector pops out and the trigger box comes out. And that's pretty much, for the majority, that's the gun. It's taken apart. If you want to take apart the upper assembly, it's literally just one screw and the upper assembly comes apart.
Maintenance.
Yeah, there really is no
Very
maintenance
little
in it.
maintenance. I think it says in the manual. I think it says to like oil it after so many uses. I think is about
Yeah.
all it
10
says.
million rounds.
Yeah, 10 mil. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
it's
it's
after their paintball,
ridiculous.
whatever, their
A5.
A5 and the
think.
98 customs.
Sure, which are apparently renowned to run forever.
Yeah.
So let's just say that thing's probably it should run forever. Should mechanically at least function
Yeah.
forever. Yeah, so that's a plus there. The hop is also a pro in our opinion. In theory, the way it's set up to begin with, it's already a top to center. It just goes up and down. It's not like a normal AEG arm that's at an angle. So as you dial it, it approaches at an angle. So if you were to R-hop the gun or flat hop it, whatever the case is, you don't have to worry about maybe sanding the perfect flat angle to put your nub on or whatever. It's literally up and down. With the pros, there's also cons.
Yes.
No regulation, we also said was a pro. There's no regulator needed. But on the other hand, there's a power tube up in there. So if you're running off of whatever CO2 or an airline, power tube gets full of air. Basically a bolt comes forward, hits the pin on the back of the power tube, and just releases. Boom! There's your 150 psi, and it's regulated by a hole and a screw that is either
Closes the
protruding into the hole or not protruding into the hole. So with that being said, when I say there's no regulation, it doesn't mean you can't get the gun to shoot a certain FPS. The gun you can get it down a dial, whatever you need it to dial, but it's not going to be as consistent.
No, not as your other. I guess your other guns out there. It's not. You're gonna see some variation in your shots, but
It also, your air consumption stays the same, correct?
Correct. Yeah,
No
there's no
matter-
way you can't. People, I'm going to screw the screw in a little more, which I thought at first too, until I realized how it worked. No, you're wasting any amount of air that doesn't go down the barrel. Just
goes
it
out.
gets dispensed. I mean, it is what it is. So whatever the Tippmann shoots, the Tippmann shoots. You're not going to get any better. I mean, you can control it now with other mods you can do to get more of the air down the barrel as opposed to just wasting the excess air. The gun's got enough air to power whatever you want. I mean, the thing.
yeah.
Volume, whatever the heck you want.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
volume. I don't know if they make them, but if they make 1 gram, like 1 solid gram, I bet that thing can power. I mean,
Yeah.
with KP's heavy bolt, shimmed properly and like a 363 type bore barrel, I can guarantee I can shoot 550 with 3.0s. I don't advise anybody to do that. The gun's got more power than anybody actually needs.
Yes.
Out of the box needs tweaking.
Unless you get lucky, because somehow I did, and
Yeah.
mine worked actually fairly well out of the box.
Mine shot like shit.
Yeah, he wouldn't even hop at
I
all.
couldn't,
It has
yeah.
nothing.
It-
I used mine actually completely stock for quite a while, and popped just fine.
Some people have good ones. Some people get shitty ones.
Yeah.
The gun itself's not shitty. The main issue everyone has is the hop issue.
Yeah.
Pretty much what it was. I think Tippmann's probably resolved most of it now at this point in time. But that definitely needed some TLC. Con is it only? That's it. There you are. You have an M4. That's all you have. Maybe in a future date they'll
You can get
release.
shorter. It's
Yeah.
about all you can do to it.
You can shrink the barrel. They have different barrel models, like a 20-inch,
They
a
have a
6,
10.5, a 14.5,
Which
a
is that.
16.
and then a 20.
Yeah,
I think it's a
can't
20.
remember if they had an 18 or not.
I don't think they have an. I mean,
I think they just have a 20 right now.
sure, which it's better than nothing. So I mean, you could change the
Yeah.
length of it, but I mean, you have an M4.
You can't change your trigger like an AEG.
No, yeah, you can't do the trigger.
You can't change your grip, and you can't change your
Trigger guard.
receivers.
Yep, can't change the receivers.
And you can't change your charging handle.
No charge. Yep, no charging handle, no trigger guard. You can't.
Yeah.
There are people on the Tippmann page that have done this. Yes, when we're saying you can't change it, we can't. I'm saying you
Without
can't
heavy
just
modification.
Yeah, you can't just go down to the store and buy an MOE grip and just blip, throw it right on there. Not gonna happen. Same with the charging handle and everything else. We wrote the slow rate of fire as the con. None of us are super into rate of fire, but nonetheless, compared to the other guns we will compare, it has the slowest rate of fire. It can be tweaked. If you tune the gun, it will. Mine's set up and it shoots like 12 a second. I mean, then it chugs. There's no, I don't,
Mine's
it's
still completely stock, and I can shoot faster on semi. But
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, if you tweak it though, it can get there. I mean, it's still a fun thing to shoot. CO2 mags. You want to go that route and you want to run the line? They're pricey. I'm not gonna say overly pricey, but you got to pay for them.
that, and every time you insert a mag, you dump that whole CO2, because when you pull it out, whatever's left is gonna blow out of the mag.
Yep.
Because
Yeah, so
there's no
there
way to
goes,
save it.
What, like 80 cents?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're basically carrying, if you're going to go to like an AMS event or a Milsim West, whatever the case is, or just a long day, you're
You have to have a crap ton of.
you're touting
Little
some 12
CO2
grams.
cartridges.
Yeah, you're
Yep.
carrying a bunch.
Every time
Uh,
you dump that mag, you're hearing the lights until it's empty.
That's
So-
the rate of not running a tank.
Yeah.
Okay, the recoil, that's why you're buying it. It recoils forward. It's weird. It doesn't.
Fire. It's an open bolt system. It's not a closed bolt system like the other ones or like most of the real guns. It's an open bolt, meaning your bolt starts at the rear. You pull the trigger, bolt slams forward, fires, and then the bolt recoils to the back and stays to the rear.
That's it. Just it feels weird. I mean,
Boom,
you
done.
physically feel the slam forward.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, if you get your full auto tuned, so it is nice, where I think mine is, I'm not gonna say it's gonna pull it out of my arm, but it almost feels like the gun just shakes violently. It doesn't, especially with the heavy bolt, which I advise anybody that has a Tippmann to run that.
Yes.
If you like the recoil on the gun, to be honest, it sucks ass. Huh?
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, the recoil sucks ass until you put KP's
Yeah.
heavy bolt in it. Then it's actually, if you think it's
Fun.
enjoyable, it's not. Trust me,
Yeah.
it's not yet. You don't understand.
It was cool, and then I got that, and I was like, I'm never going back.
Yes.
So
But it feels like the gun is like, is it going to explode in my hand? It
yeah, it's an all other world of feeling.
feels different.
Yeah,
What the heck? What does that mean?
quiet. It's
it's
not quiet.
It's not as loud.
Oh,
as the
oh.
other.
Yeah, and the only reason that's on there is because some people on the Tippmann page are asking how to make the gun quiet.
No.
That's not even, I don't know why I wrote
No.
that. Why did
Bro,
you,
You're doing it wrong.
yeah, why did you buy the gun?
Go to an AEG if you want it quiet.
Yeah, what? Buy a
Or- yeah, there you go.
HPA and put a
Yeah, exactly.
foam-filled banana, whatever you want to call the damn thing. You bought it because it
loud.
recoils,
That's why
right? That's why you bought it?
We put sound enhancers
Yeah.
on them to make them
You
louder,
stupid.
even
Get outta
louder
here.
than what they are.
That's dumb. That's just, if you want that, just dumb. You're dumb.
Yeah.
You don't buy that gun because of that.
You're
Yeah.
really
You're really, really dumb. All
Put my baby.
right, so there's option 1, I guess. Option 2 would be a Daytona. I'll try not to be biased.
Yeah.
I have a hat on. I'm biased. My new love.
Should we all say that we pretty much do own almost all these systems, except for you're the only one that doesn't have the Daytona?
I'm the only one that has.
Oh,
He's the only one
yeah.
that has that.
Well, I had a GBBR. I guess technically I sold it, but
Yeah.
but
yeah.
secondly, we still all do. So we've at least played with the
everybody
system,
is-
all used the
Yeah, everyone's
systems.
played. This is
Not saying that we're all biased to like only using
No,
one gun.
no,
we
no,
all,
no.
We
I
all
just-
have played with them, or at least used them, or owned them in some point or another.
I just don't need one of you haters be like, oh, that guy's got a Daytona hat on. He
Yeah.
only likes that. No, there's cons. Okay, calm down. Pros. Same thing as the Tippmann. It's battery, or there is no battery. It's all mechanical.
No batteries.
So again, we have no batteries. It's a plus, right? But it's loud. If you want to be stealthy, quiet, wrong platform for you. Not what you want. And to be honest, if you are trying to make it quiet again like the Tippmann, you're an idiot.
But if you're trying to make it quiet, maybe this particular segment of the market
just
is
stop
not
the
for
video.
you.
Just stop the
Stop
video.
it.
You can go someplace
If you
else.
want quiet, go. Yeah.
Go to another video.
We don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Another pro, it takes AEG barrels and mags. So that's another plus. So with the Tippmann in this, if you already have an M4 in this situation, what?
Inner barrels.
Yeah, what'd I say?
You just said barrels.
Oh, yeah, my bad, inner barrels. So again, if you already have a plethora of something you like to run, these can take it. If you already have AEG mags, same concept. So you already have that down. That's already there for you. There are different platforms, right? Okay, so the Tippmann in the case, Con it was only M4. So you want a Daytona gun? Here you go. Here's an M4. There's an ACR. So you have some choices now. You want to put a saw. There's a saw. You have there's options. You're not stuck to just one platform. So that's what pro does. The realism. So at the current moment, at this moment when this video is being recorded, look at whatever the published date is. Today's the 9th of October, I think. 9th October 2015. 8th of October. The only bolt catch for the mags at the current moment are for the M4. But it is there. So in theory, when your bolt, just like a gas blowback, when your thing's out, boom, bolt will lock. You're out of BBs. Cool. So you have a realism factor there. And obviously put it back in, you'll have to hit the bolt release, you're good to go. But you need to run ERG mags. Count that as a con if you want. You have to have a certain mag you have to run.
It's a small price to pay though for if you want that realism factor.
Agreed. So we also put down there's recoil out of the box. This versus a stock Tippmann. This is
Blows it away.
yeah, not really a comparison. The Tippmann,
No.
the Tippmann's garbage compared to this. Based on what Christian said though, the recoil now is proper. That's the term you want to use.
To the rear.
It's to the rear. I mean, it recoils. You feel like the gun is controllable. It's not going to violently blow up out of your hand or something. It doesn't.
No.
It's if you fired a real firearm. I mean, it's natural in that essence too. The recoil is night and day.
It's a uncontrollable smiling recoil. Like
Yeah.
you shoot it on full auto. And
Yeah,
you shoot it and then you go,
Yeah.
this is so cool.
Yeah,
And you just want to keep shooting it.
Yep. Full auto is definitely just fun mode.
Oh yeah. Very.
There's a reason I bought a saw.
Fun
It's-
mode engaged.
Yeah, fun mode
Full
with
auto.
box bag. It's a good time. And the rate of fire on them, I guess to piggyback up, the rate of fire
Yep.
is definitely faster. Now they're not a Polar Star and S&P. We're not popping out like 50 a second. That's not what's happening here. But like my ACR is a good solid 20, right? Enjoyable. Trust me.
It's a usable.
Yeah, it's usable.
Usable full auto.
And that's at 120 psi the way that I have my gun set up. The saws I think at 20 also. It's a good time. With KP's heavy bolt, in case someone asks, it's really hard to compare which feels more. I'm going to stick with my Daytona for full auto personally.
I would agree with you.
The thing violently shakes forward the Tippmann, so it's really
you
hard
feel
to
recoil,
judge it.
but yeah, it feels like it's not going into your shoulder. Like this, you're constantly
the
feeling
gun is coming.
recoil.
The gun is coming
It's
like
coming into your
back,
shoulder
yeah,
like it's
it's
supposed to.
doing this as opposed to I
Yeah,
can
the
just
Tippmann
keep it
is,
and
yeah.
it just does normal motion.
Yep.
The Facebook page is a pro. So if you want to go in there for support and you do not have any mechanical, I don't even know the word to use.
Know-how.
Yeah, any mechanical know-how.
Aptitude.
There, boom. Aptitude. Read the FAQ, and search. It's no bullshit, which is a plus to me. I don't have to go on there daily and ask you the same jerk asking the same 800th question or showing a bazillion Raider hates. Tired of that. The hop.
It's very helpful.
Yeah, it's helpful.
And
if
it's
you
full of knowledgeable people
yes.
that are willing to help you.
Yes, if you just
Ask
if you already cover the basic,
Yeah.
Do some research yourself. The hop is also a top to center. It's up and down, just like we described in the Tippmann. Right out of the box, that's a plus. To me, it is. Cons. It's not a con to me, but it is. I can see where people say it's a con. Breaking in the gun.
Well, if you don't be a pussy though, you can break them in just fine. You just can't be a pussy.
If you got a pair of balls, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, there's no issues.
Grab a
I'm just
beer,
saying.
grab a compressor, some tanks, whatever you want, and a bunch of mags, and just shoot. It is
Have
what.
at it.
Yeah, have at it. I mean, it is what it is. Sorry, you're gonna waste some BBs. Don't go to the field and bitch that the gun sucks and it doesn't perform because you've shot 20 BBs through the gun. It's part of the process. Read the FAQ. But it's a con nonetheless. I mean, you as opposed to Tippmann, you can just get it ready to roll. If I install this kit today, I can't just.
Yeah.
It won't perform. So it is a con.
But still,
essentially.
didn't you have yours literally running in a day?
I haven't had any of these. Not every time I've
Yeah.
installed a kit, I haven't had the gun not running within the day of.
Yeah.
The saw was installed, and I was out in my backyard shooting it. He came over. Nothing. Yeah, in a lawn chair, beer, just letting the fence happen. There's more maintenance.
I was gonna say with the break-in, the break-in is required because they take a proprietary hop-up bucking.
Yes, good point. The bucking in them is not like a standard AEG bucking. It is.
It's similar, but it's different.
Yeah, it's way harder. I mean, that's it. What it is in a nutshell. It's harder. The BBs, run good BBs through it again. Valken.
Which really,
laser
all of
dots.
these, if you run crappy BBs,
Yeah,
you're gonna have issues. In all of them,
Yeah,
so.
true.
That's any airsoft gun in general, technically.
Yeah.
You probably want to run good BBs.
Yes. There's more maintenance required in this than a Tippmann. You've got steel moving parts, obviously. I say obviously. Not obviously, but there's steel moving parts inside the gun, so you're going to need lube. Tony recommends Get Some 1000. That's what I've been using in all of them so far, and it's been working fine. But you do need to, I mean, you're done with the field, you got to come home, split your receiver, whatever gun you're using. Definitely got to wipe it off and, reapply a light, thin layer. The Tippmann, you just come home and just throw it in the rack and
Good
call it a day, whatever. You do need a tank and a regulator. So there's your, you don't have the luxury, I guess, if you wanted to run CO2 mags. You have to have a tank and a regulator. Tony recommends the Firebase, so you're not buying the, whatever, $25, $30 ARX, you're buying a more solid regulator, I guess. It's a little different style, the way that it operates. A higher end regulator, so that is that. Overall price tag compared to a Tippmann, they are more expensive. There's not a doubt about that. Tippmann, you paid, roughly whatever, $450, you get a gun, the gun's ready to roll, you just need a tank and a line. This, you either start with a gas blowback, do not be saying this, be careful here. Depending on what platform you want in this situation, like a Western Arms or a GMP gas blowback setup. Now there's a walk kit. Now there's some other kits available, but needless to say, you have to either obtain a gas blowback gun essentially for this platform here, and then buy a kit, and then either you install it yourself or have Tony install it. So you're kind of buying, let's say Tony installs it for you, you're buying kind of 3 parts to build a gun, as opposed to something you just go buy the gun, you're ready to roll. That's your call. I mean, it's definitely a con as far as the price tag goes, but if you have the money, in my personal opinion, I have a Tippmann. That's where I started, and I have 3 Daytonas now. And I'm waiting for more. Can't get enough.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
You gotta get some.
I gotta get some.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, nonetheless, again, it is more expensive.
But
than
if you want
Tippmann.
the recoil, there's really no.
Yeah,
place to go.
And if you want to compare back to the realism, there's definitely more as far as how the innards look and how the innards function compared to a Tippmann. There's way more. I don't know the word. I mean, they're way more. It's more accurate to a real steel versus a Tippmann is, in more than one way. I think that a Tippmann is. Yeah, sure. And we have another gun to review.
Yeah.
Another gun to show
Overview. Overview. This is not a review.
It's an overview.
I told you. You didn't listen, apparently.
I didn't.
Do we have to go over this again?
Nope.
All right.
Okay.
So we are now on to the gas blowback rifles.
Boom.
By
That's
this, we mean gas in the magazine. Yes, there are others. We don't care.
Yep.
So the pros on this one, you don't need an airline, you don't need a regulator, you don't need a tank. Again, no battery, all mechanical, just like all the ones we have here right now.
Yep. Super plus.
Some people may look at this as a pro. The mag capacity is, for most part, it's going to be realistic or equal to its real steel counterpart. For instance, this is the Wii gas blowback open bolt M4. It holds 30 rounds, or like 32 rounds per magazine.
Shoot them as
so
2 off.
Pretty
you
close
are
as you're gonna
not
get to real.
going to be doing a whole lot of...
Spraying and praying.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, with their AEG mags, you can
Sure, you got a mid-cap to
run full
120,
auto
140.
and have a little bit more fun. This one, you got to use full auto a little bit more sparingly. The innards, compared to the real ones, are
Pretty spot
almost
on.
scary how close they are. I mean,
Yeah.
I can, for fun the other day, I threw my, pulled the buffer spring out of my real one, threw it in here. Increased the recoil, greatly increased gas consumption. I was like, ooh, maybe not. One thing I personally really like is the fact that it has an actual trigger pull. Some of the other ones have like an air valve or a. This one, the Tippmann does kind of have a sear in it that releases.
Yeah.
But in this one, when you pull the trigger, it, at least in mine, it takes up similar to a real one, and it breaks similar to a real one. It's not nearly as stiff, but anyway, it has a real trigger break.
You're right.
Just in general, the realism here is a little bit more than the other platforms. You do have a bolt catch with the empty magazines. You have
And that's
the
stock.
actual-
The gun comes with it stock.
Yeah.
You
So, I
actually
mean-
have to, oh, you're empty, put a mag in, hit the bolt catch or rack it. Yeah.
I think it's freaking me out. It's pointing at my head like, I'm waiting for you to just hit me in the head
The
with it.
different platforms, this is one thing that definitely has over the Tippmann and has
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bit of an advantage over the
Daytona.
Daytonas. MP7s. There's no Daytona MP7s or Tippmanns.
Well,
Technically, there's not any of those yet.
There's not.
Available to the public.
let me tell you, I fired a mag through this. That's about all I intend on firing through it in its current state.
Currently, it is a
It is a
Wii
gas
open
blowback.
bolt gas
Yep,
blowback.
my bad.
Awaiting a
Good job.
kit. And
M14. Tons of choices.
M14.
What do you
There's
want?
no Daytona
Yeah,
for
I
this
mean-
yet either.
I
It's
had
there.
I had a Vector.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Tons of choices. Boom. Whoops.
And these are loud.
Yeah, they are loud as well.
yes.
Would you say they're comparable to the Daytonas? Or
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it's a different sound.
it's
It's
different.
different sound,
You can tell the difference between
Yeah.
the Daytona
Yeah.
and that when you
Well,
fire.
which is cool in the field when your
The
teammates
plus
got their
side,
guns. You know
they're
where they're at.
stupid
You know where
loud.
they're at.
I was using this last weekend, and Chase was telling me that he could hear me all over
Yeah.
the field, no matter where I was.
Every time I heard it, I was like, "Oh, here he comes! He's coming this way."
Which
So,
is good. Quick identification for your teammates.
Yes.
You know, it's very useful for scaring the crap out of your opponents,
Hey,
which works.
Yeah,
They
but-
put their head down.
you can't dry fire at them and make them put their head down.
Yeah, I can.
Ooh.
Well, when you're out of BBs.
Well,
I
yes, yeah, you
guess.
better hope the thing
I'm
gets
saying
gas.
we don't have to have a mag in.
Ooh, touche.
I don't care.
Touche.
Yeah, I can dry fire all
You have
day.
a line.
This is true.
Damn
Okay.
airlines.
Dang it!
Always getting in my way.
And onto the cons for this guy. Low mag capacity.
30 rounds.
While we put it as a pro, it's also a con. For the general casual player, it means that you're gonna have to have. You can't just walk on the field with like one or two mags.
Oh,
Like
okay.
these guys, if you want to,
Well.
you just grab one mag and like grab a high cap and go play.
You're good to go.
Can't do that for this. You basically have to have a fairly large amount of mags to be able to effectively use one of these weapons. And because of that, the con also is mag prices. They are not cheap.
Yeah.
For the Wii's, right now, at this date, I can get mags for about $32 a piece.
This is new. We understand you can get stuff used. We
Yes,
get
I
that.
have lots of used mags, and I've gotten them at good prices, but can't always count on that. So we're just
Yeah.
saying right now, at this date, I can buy them for under $35, which
It's expensive for
For-
one mag.
yeah, it's
and that has
expensive
30
for
shots.
some, and yet at the same time, it's cheaper than other gas platforms because this is the Wii. If you go with like the KWA LM4, they're about $50.
Ooh.
Yeah. Really
Well, and like we
expensive.
said, with that being said, if you're going to go to like an event or you need to carry,
Yes.
I don't know, 10 mags, because I mean, you're pretty much going to, I would say
Well, let's
10 is probably
say-
a good minimum.
Yeah,
kind of
that,
ish.
that would give you 300 to 350 rounds, depending on what mags you have. That does not allow you to be very.
Effective? Shall we say?
No.
You can still be effective. I
Sure.
would say
Well, yeah.
it
Yeah.
makes you pay
Choose
attention a little bit more.
To what you shoot at? Shoot
and
what
you
you
can't
can hit?
just randomly do what. You can't run around willy nilly and just do whatever the heck you
Just
feel
go at
like.
it.
Yeah, it's true.
But it's
So,
not a bad, that's not necessarily, I mean, it's a con, but it's not necessarily a bad thing too.
No.
But
Yeah.
again, if you want to fill your loadout frame,
Yeah, I
as we were
mean-
joking, like,
Say I carry 10 AEG mags. The Elite Force ones cost me all of like $45 back when
Yeah.
they first came out. If I'm gonna carry 10 of these, it's gonna cost me $350.
yeah. And if you want to fill your loadout of like your 1500 rounds frame, that's whatever. You're not carrying it. And if you are,
What is it like
meet
46
us.
mags?
Yeah. If you are carrying it, we'll be at Rebel Yell.
We want to see a pic. We're gonna take a picture
Yeah.
and post that.
I will
'cause that's
definitely
gonna
take a
be
picture of you.
awesome.
You're not talking about high speed, low drag. There were like 40-ish mags on your body.
Yeah. You're not gonna be able to. How you gonna reach all those? You're gonna have like buddy mags. Your buddy's literally gonna have to hand them to you.
Dude,
Just drop legs going all the way to your ankle.
You won't feel any hits.
Yeah. All you're gonna hear is a ting because it hits a metal mag.
Ting, 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 ting.
Yeah. More
right,
maintenance needed?
Yeah, these are going to take a little bit more maintenance than any of the other platforms, just due to the fact that there are more moving parts. This has a hammer that moves back and forth that none of the others have. It has the trigger, has the actual bolt, it has a nozzle, and now all the parts inside of all those. So you're going to have to take care of it a little bit more. And in general, the wear on at least this particular one is going to be higher out of the box than the other.
Sure.
One of the things is sometimes people have issues with the plastic loading nozzles on these can chop, or like if you get a BB chopped and it's like a real stiff one, it can actually break your nozzle. If it breaks the outside of this particular one, it doesn't matter. If it breaks the actual like loading part, you're kind of screwed. You're gonna have to get a new one. They make upgrades for those. They're fairly expensive though.
But that solves your problem.
Yes, that's true.
And for a long time.
So also, you're gonna if you're gonna do this like at an AMS event or something, you're gonna have to either carry gas on you or carry a propane tank or something, not necessarily on you, but in a fob bag or something that you leave at your fob or something like that to be able to regas your magazines. And yes, I understand there are other methods of doing that, such as the like the little AI gas cans and stuff, but
You're in the same boat as the Tippmann, basically, instead of CO2 cartridges. If you wanted to run the CO2 mags, you're running...
You're going to have to do something.
Yeah. Weather?
Yeah, and certain platforms, or certain gas blowback platforms, do not react well to very cold weather. If you get below 50 degrees even with some of them, they get really finicky. And yet, just saying, the MP7, I've buried it in the snow, and I can still hold... excuse me. Still dump a whole mag on full auto. So that one works well. I don't have experience with any of the others that I have here yet to know how well it's going to work. We're going to say that the not necessarily as practical as some of the others if you're to build an entire loadout due to the amount of mags and the cost that you needed.
Yeah.
What is that thing? Maintenance? On this particular one, some of the entry-level parts suck. And so eventually you're going to end up spending more money on replacing them with some of these steel parts. And there are other platforms other gas blowback platforms that you can go with a little higher end that you're not going to need to replace broken parts as often. And so that kind of drives the price up on these, unfortunately. But so I think we agreed the price on this kind of comes in.
It's probably closer to
the Tippmann than the Daytona.
Yeah, this is okay. So let's see if we can figure that out now. We didn't write this down in notes, so let's see how this works. This here, price tag, most affordable. Okay, this is our opinion. Depends on, this is buying everything new, not used. If you were just to buy the Tippmann and run it off of, let's say, a tank and a line, off of, like, say, a CO2 tank.
Just say, it comes with one mag, correct?
It does.
One CO2 mag.
It does.
I guess that's only 80 rounds.
Yeah.
Never mind. Then you're in the same boat as this one.
Yeah, that's what I say. So if you bought a Tippmann for $450, you bought like a cheap paintball CO2 tank,
which you can run CO2.
It can run CO2 or HPA. HPA is a little more stable. There's a reason most of us run HPA, but nonetheless, that CO2 tank and a line, and then just rolled with. So you don't have any AEG mags. You just go buy what's the cheap Elite Force ones?
Like
box
$60
for 10. You know, whatever you're at, like shit. I don't know. It's like a guess, like $550, give or take. Yeah, because you don't. I mean, it's you buying a medium-sized CO2 tank. The line is $20.
On which exact mags you get or which tank.
It'll vary slightly.
Yeah.
So then if you go over to a gas blowback in this situation.
This particular one, shoot, I believe they're. Don't quote me on this, but I believe that these right now are like $230. And I could be very wrong because I definitely did not buy this one new.
Yeah.
Let's say, how many mags would you say you had to have to actually
6.
I'd say, 6 is an absolute.
5 or 6?
Yeah, 6 is probably, your typical loadout is probably set up to carry at least that.
And it comes with one out of the box.
Sure.
So you're going to have to get 5 mags.
30.
We'll just say at $30 a piece because it makes the math easy.
Yeah.
That's
Math isn't as easy as
No.
that.
$150.
Yeah, you'll be.
So that's 150 plus. What do you say? 230. That's
Yeah,
380.
Yeah.
Well, then you're in the
gas.
downside. You're gonna have to continue
Continuously
to
be
provide
using-
gas for.
Yeah.
But you
So-
get to buy propane.
Yeah, Proba's not super expensive.
You could buy propane.
I mean,
That's what
for the price point, I don't. Maybe.
I guess you might be able to come in cheaper than the Tippmann, but then again, that's the Tippmann with
You can run your AEG mag, so you can go to.
Yeah, if you already had it-
1,400 rounds in
Yeah.
mags.
I'm just gonna.
compared to-
We'll give the price to the Tippmann.
Okay.
Out of the box setup, you just need to go play, and you want to have some recoil. And I don't know if we mentioned it. I think this has
recoil.
the comparison. Yeah, they all have recoil.
Yeah.
The comparison
Really?
recoil of this to the Tippmann, again, this is stock as shit. This dominates that. There's not even a
Comparison stock.
yeah. I mean
That's realistic recoil because it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's straight back.
this and the Daytona are similar in the recoil world as far as the way it functions. That is
Weird.
yeah, weird and it's freaky. So price, we're gonna give it the Tippmann. I'll go. We agree with that, I guess. Tippmann will take the price tag.
Yeah,
Out of the
this
box.
one is really close though.
Sure, this I love you, but you're not close to the price point.
No.
You're not there. What else we really cover? I guess let's just say compatibility with the rest of the world. Your typical airsoft shit.
gonna be these two. Just
These
'cause
two are
they're
gonna be
AG
close. Yeah, so if you needed to, I mean, for mag wise,
buddy
Well,
mag.
all of these, your receivers are real steel threaded as well, right?
yeah, this is yes,
Tippmanns are as well.
yes,
Yes.
As are these.
yep. So there's
So there
other,
you go.
Real
There's
steel
a-
components you can
yeah,
use.
there's a
Yeah.
random pro. Because you can run real steel charging handles, right?
Yeah,
I
can run
can.
just straight steel, real steel charging handles.
have a slight
buffers,
mod.
buffer tubes.
Slight mod.
Same thing here with
Yeah.
buffer too. I have a slight mod, but it's. I mean, I'm talking a file. Okay, if you're too scared to take out a file for 5 minutes or something,
Yeah.
then
And plus,
you don't need to be doing maintenance anyways.
both of these can run. You can swap grips
Yeah,
with real steel grips.
Yeah, I can-
Of course, he's running.
I've
the
got an
line on the
airline-
bottom, so you got to mod it a little bit.
sure, but again, you're talking 5 minutes. That's an amped IGL line. Anywho's. Price point goes to that. I'd say compatibility then. Overall, you'll probably end up going to that because they can run AEG barrels and buckings. I have an AEG inner barrel. I do not have the bucking. So I guess.
I can take VSR 10 buckings.
Oh jeez. Every airshop store, local ones have that.
Yeah.
So I guess that'll take that.
He's
yeah,
like, no.
yeah, exactly. So if you're in a pinch and for some reason you, I don't know, tore your bucking, because it's definitely happened to Tippmann's, they'll rip the front lips right off. How? I don't know. It
It's
doesn't.
that violent recoil.
It's that violent shaking forward that it does. So I guess we'll give that to that. What other category you want to give these things? Overall realism?
Sure.
I
I
guess-
know I'll win that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably.
Yeah, he's gonna win that one easily.
That's in third. First, second, third. The Tippmann's in third on that. There's no bolt
Yeah.
lock. There's no. What else? The recoil is funky. I don't know what.
Here's bolt locks.
I think
Huh?
we need to
It doesn't
point
lock,
out.
I guess, while you're using it, but it
No.
locks.
Yeah, there's no. Yeah, there's
That-
no.
I can lock it when I charge it.
Okay, but it doesn't. He can dry fire all day with a mag, and he'll have no idea.
Okay, I was just gonna point out part of the reason we're saying it's funky is on the Tippmann. Like if you've never shot a real gun before and you pick that one up and you shoot it, you're probably not gonna know that it's weird. But
Very
with
touche.
the fact
Valid
that all of
point.
us
Very
shoot real
valid.
guns,
Very valid.
to me at least, I don't like it just because it's not the same as I'm used to shoot. When I pick
But-
up my AR up, it's not.
but-
it doesn't recoil the same.
But in an airsoft
But-
world, at least it gives you recoil.
Yes,
True.
I will give it that.
No
It's
re-
better than a typical
Yeah,
just
at
bullshit.
least you got
just
some recoil.
trigger
I
pull and
did-
doesn't do anything.
I did enjoy that over like some of the other HPA systems where I pull the trigger and I'm just
There's
like,
no feedback.
Yeah,
Click,
he wasn't a fan of that.
click, click.
Which, and I don't blame him. I mean, I understand that. Overall realism, then gas blowback will take it. Daytona will take second, and that will take a far third.
It's okay.
Felt recoil, that's in last.
Yep.
That'll definitely take
Again.
third again. I don't know, man.
I think straight out of the box,
This, yeah.
now for this, we're also comparing an M4 to an
To-
M4 to an M4.
yes. I'm not
Um,
comparing like a Daytona foul or something.
Yeah. I think with the right mods, this could probably be equal.
Probably. Full auto is
possibly
definitely,
more,
I think, where this is going to
but-
shine a little bit more.
Yeah.
Especially as the mag runs lower on gas.
Yeah.
I mean,
cooldown.
the cooldown. Yeah, there you go. So the cooldown's gonna. My saw, I can hang out in the trigger for
He's
as long as my air tank doesn't want to stop.
"Hey, how's it going?"
He's my witness. I was shooting at bushes during the game.
Yeah, he's.
I was fogged up. I don't know what. I didn't see anybody. Heard some movement. I just let it have it.
He was shooting. I go, "What are you shooting at?" He's like, "I don't know. I'm just shooting." And he was not letting off the trigger. He was shooting.
Because it's so much fun.
Remember that uncontrollable smile factor? Yeah, that's all that was on his face.
Had
You
it the
couldn't
whole
see his eyes because it was completely fogged over, but his face was just.
Even shot my own teammate accidentally.
Yeah,
Someone
he did
says
do
going
that.
for the flag, and I saw some man run at the flag.
He shot.
Be sure the saw found him. So recoil.
I think straight out of the box, we'll definitely say that
Daytona.
the Daytona takes that one for sure.
Second. Tippmann's in third place. Uh,
Now, this is obviously going to be very subjective and not objective.
I'll try not
But
to
as
be.
they say, one like shoots better. I mean, I know that in general, this guy is probably going to be like the most consistent, right?
Okay, yes. Okay, but there's a caveat to that. So to the maintenance aspect of it, he takes his apart and has to like fully clean it. When I'm done with the field, I can kind of just I wipe stuff off and I just kind of spray some lube and I'm good to go. That being said, if you get an excessive amount of lube into the barrel and touching the hop up patch, and you want to know why your gun's broken and it's just BBs are potentially lobbing on the ground, that's probably why. Run a swab through the barrel, clean the front of the nozzle, and you'll probably be good to go again. So when it's not doing that, which is there's a new rubber, whatever. There'll be a link in the description. Tony recommended it. My saw, flawless. I just went ahead and put it in this. Mine was running fine, but I put it in that and I just literally put it in my ACR. It's a top dead center the way the screw works. The saw right now, I can tell you, we'll make a video of this at Sunday. We'll make a note. We're going to grab that barrel.
Okay.
That thing right now shoots 267 FPS, my saw. Okay? With 3 O's. Okay, so let's just say not the most powerful gun in the world.
At what PSI?
At 120 PSI. That's where she sits. And I stunted it based on the barrel to get where I wanted to be. I will guarantee you that will hit a 60-yard target, a man-sized target at 60 yards. Not a problem. On just full auto letting it rip. Not a problem. So stop chasing FPS is number one. Number two, I have not gotten to test this again yet since I put the new rubber in it. This has more FPS than my saw does.
Hey,
I'm going to take a bank on it. Yeah, it's not an overview. Sorry,
This
guys.
is not an in-depth
What was the question you asked me?
Yeah, you really.
consistency.
Yeah, let's go
Would
back
you
to
say that
consistency.
Way
straight
off.
out of the box that this
Yes.
would fire more
Yes.
consistent?
Yeah, broken in, I'm like 1 to 2 FPS
Okay.
variance. That's it. Simple
And
question,
we were
simple
saying
answer.
that one sometimes has consistency issues,
You
correct?
can
yeah.
sit there and tinker with that screw sometimes and get it fairly
Yeah.
consistent.
So you would say with tuning you can get it.
Yeah.
You
Like,
still-
would you say close to this
No.
or
With
no?
okay, let me. In case KP watches this video, if you want to be within at the current moment in time, if you want to be within field legal limits on most normal fields in the United States, that thing will not be as consistent as my Daytona will be. If you want to be outside of field legal limits, if you don't know what I'm talking about, then sorry. If you want to be outside of field legal limits, it can probably be as consistent as my Daytona. But we play on fields. I don't play in my backyard, and I play with people, and I'm not trying to hurt anybody at the current moment in time. So I know KP's working on some stuff. We'll see what the future holds. But at the current moment, yes, this is like 1 to 2 FPS. Solid. It's got a regulator in it.
Yeah.
It's regulated.
And I don't really pay that close attention, to be honest. I mean, it's not terribly it's not drastically inconsistent.
But as
But-
you lose gas, you
Yeah,
should be
and
constantly losing
that'll
FPS.
vary based on whatever system
You have.
you
Yeah.
have, because some systems are more consistent than the others. But
So
I haven't noticed it to be an issue. But then again, most of the time when I'm playing with this gun, I'm just like, heck yeah, man!
the smile factor comes into play again.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. They all create a smile factor.
They do.
It's just kind of
That's the least as far as the recoil goes.
yeah. The smile factor is just kind of
Still
what
fun.
you.
Yeah,
is
it
fun.
is
Everything's
fun. Obviously, I have one. So does he.
Okay, no, so
We'll give the consistency. I guess I'll give it to the Daytona. Personal
yeah, I
opinion.
would. as well.
Okay, cool. Consistency goes Daytona. That's second. That I don't know. That could be.
I'd
that's
say
it's a
probably
toss-up
toss-up
it's a
between the
toss-up.
two of them.
It can be a toss-up because I mean my
I'm gonna stay more consistent for a longer period of time than that because that's gonna lose consistency because the
Touche.
gas runs out. This will
Touche.
stay until my tank runs out. I got a lot more air in my tank than you do in your mag.
It's basically that thing. Its consistency is. I mean, you're relying on the rear bolt to basically hit the power tube the exact same speed, exactly
and
every single time, and the air to fly around that screw every single time.
Your consistency only stays the same when you hold the gun the same way.
Listen to this guy. I know what he's talking about. Ignore his statements.
I'm ignoring him. Just mean mugging.
So recoil, just to recap, recoil will go to this guy.
Yep.
Consistency will go to this guy. Price point will go to that guy.
Yeah.
Realism will go to this guy.
Yeah.
What other topic would you people want to know? Maintenance. Maintenance is, there's not even a debate. That guy's going to go to maintenance. He don't do anything.
You shoot it and have fun.
You shoot it and put it on your shelf and never lube it, I guess, and it'll last 500,000 rounds. What other little topics we got on this bad boy? I don't know. What other award can you give away?
Awesomeness factor.
I think they all have an awesome.
Yeah, say who wins that? How do you even judge that?
That was the point. They all have it.
Oh, sorry.
Oops.
That's my bad. We ruined
Yeah,
that
thanks,
joke,
guys.
As far as
sit
if
over
you
here in my corner.
need, I guess, I don't know, help? If you need assistance?
Ooh.
Is that a thing to give it to?
Yeah.
Okay, let me rephrase this. Customer service.
Oh,
Tippmann's supposed to have, like, world-renowned, and there's many people that have said, hey...
I don't have experience with it, but from what I've seen, at least on the Facebook pages,
you're getting some customer service.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you break a... I don't know, man. I feel like you could probably just trip, fall, upper receiver cracks.
Take the gun.
Yeah. Boom! Need a new one? Call Tippmann and they'll send you one. That being said, if you need help on a Daytona, you can go to the Facebook page and ask. You can, I mean...
As long as it's not in the frequently asked questions.
Yeah, if it's in the FAQ and you ask, you're going to get, you're
Yeah.
going to get a sweet picture of Tony in his workout version body, Yeah, you're going to get the...
You might have to post that down in here at some point in this.
Yeah. And I wouldn't expect Tony or anybody, to be honest, if I just fell and just broke this over my knee to replace it. That's your own
Absurd.
Yeah, it's your own fault. But I guess kudos, we'll give that to Tippmann then, I guess. That, yeah.
He started his
Yeah,
micro
at least in the U.S., it doesn't exactly have a...
Sure.
I know other companies have better, but there's also...
Gotcha. Yeah.
Another day.
They win.
Keep going.
Yeah, Tippmann wins. Loud factor goes to these two. Tippmann's way in third place. Not that it's not loud, it just...
Unless you want to be that guy that
Not as loud.
Not as loud. The buffer tube is loud by your ear. The little...
Hey, it
boing,
sounds real,
boing,
though.
boing, boing. Yeah, the spring is loud.
If you don't increase it.
Spring.
Yeah. So these two are comparable. Depends on the gun. Has different sound. Whatever. Other than that, that's all we talked about. Loud.
Overall winner.
Overall winner.
Did we decide?
Sistema PTW is the overall winner.
Yes!
That is the overall winner of the Airsoft
Until you burn out your
recoiling.
motor brushes.
Yeah, then you're
And then
back
you're-
where you need a mechanical gun.
Yep.
So in case you want to know which one to buy Sistema PTW. No, really, there's no better.
They're all different,
Yes.
and they, like we said, they all have their own pros and cons. Certain people are going to gravitate towards different types of guns.
Sure.
Personally, I didn't have a liner or a tank or regulator or anything, so this was more attractive to me.
Yep. I'm slowly trying to convert him. Give it time.
Give it time.
But yeah, there's really, I agree. I mean, they all have their pros and cons.
They're all fun.
Yep. We threw a bunch of basic pros and cons. There's way more, pros and cons than somebody else might think. Those are probably the most common, basic, quick, addressed pros and cons, I think, of each
If
system.
you have any other pros and cons, throw them in the below.
Yeah, inform some other
Down
people down
below.
there. Because there's
Yeah.
more. We know that. I know there's more. So does he. So does he.
Yeah.
There's only so much we can cover in this,
You can throw them in the comments.
40-minute video or whatever, if you're actually still watching this.
And that one subscriber is still sitting there watching.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Thanks,
I
dude.
Hope you buy a
We
gun.
like you.
Yeah, I hope you buy a gun.
All three of
All
Yeah.
three. And we're the only three still watching because we're watching our own videos.
Yeah, pretty crappy. But so again, choose whatever platform you want. Questions, comments, concerns, comments below.
Hit the subscribe button for more cool videos!
And don't be a pussy.
Yes.